All right, everybody, thanks for joining today. We'll let Coach Malzahn make a few opening comments, and then we'll take your questions. If you have a question for Coach, please let me know through the chat on Zoom. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Okay, we've had a very solid week of practice. We transitioned this week into focusing on our first opponent, Kentucky. We had a good practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're off today. Tomorrow we'll go to the stadium and do some special situation things. And it'll be under the lights, and we're going to turn the crowd noise on and all that and get used to the new normal as far as that goes. As far as our COVID update, we had good news. We didn't have any positive tests this week, which was great. We still have 8 guys out. We should get those guys back by Tuesday next week, which is the first day of practice as far as that goes. But you look at Kentucky team. They're a veteran team, especially up front, and I think not going through spring and everything that goes with that. That's the veteran teams, I think, have an advantage. And you look at them; they're very impressive. You can tell they're well coached. Our guys have already, as watching film can tell, that they're a very good team. So, been a good week of prep. I know it's been very good for our players and coaches to start transitioning to another opponent, and you can tell that it's getting closer just from the excitement. Not only in the practice field, but in the complex.
First question, Coach, is from Mark Murphy.
Gus, can you talk about preparations for the first game? Back when this was getting started, you said you were going to try to have more depth on offense and defense. You got a ballpark figure about how many guys will be ready to play?
Well, I mean, as far as quality depth, I think that's the key. Now we've had a plan that to develop more depth, and we've spent a lot more time this year on our 2s and 3s to get those guys ready, and that's been by design. As far as quality, we'll have to continue to build that, and we'll do that throughout the season. But we've given our 2s and 3s more quality reps than we ever had. And hopefully that'll help us, as the season, goes on.
So would you say definitely a lot more than a normal opening game would be ready to play if you needed them?
Yeah, as far as the reps are concerned, we'll have a lot more guys available, ready to go.
Thanks.
Coach, our next question is from Steve Moulton.
Hey, Coach, I was hoping you could speak to this grind because you guys have been really going since June, had a little bit of a break there in August, but with no spring, a different type of grind. What has it been like on the players and the coaching staff really since June?
Yeah, Steve, that's a great question. I think the emotional toll that it takes on you, with the uncertainty and all the ups and downs, because there was weeks that we were thinking like it's going to be really hard to play. And then there was the next week where you said, well, we got a chance to play. And all the ups and downs that and getting adjusted to the new normal as far as COVID's concerned, who's available, who's not available, who's out, adjusting with that takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally. But, our guys have done a good job. And as the season has gotten closer, you can tell the urgency is a lot higher from everyone. The excitement is a lot better from everyone. And so I know our guys, our coaches, we're just ready for game one to get here and start getting into the routine.
If you could give me a scouting report on Terry Wilson, what does he bring to the table for the Wildcats?
Well, you can tell he operates, the offense. You can tell he knows what he's doing. You can tell he's well coached, and he can run and he can throw, and it looks like he's got a very good command of the offense.
Coach, our next question is from Jason Caldwell.
Gus, I guess the SEC just kind of released a thing about you got to have 53 players available, one quarterback, a certain number. Is that helpful to have a standard set that hey, you're either going to play or not play depending on the numbers and not have to decide, what positions, all those things? Is that helpful?
Yeah, I think my biggest concern is the quality of the game, and making sure that, watching that first game a couple weeks ago, their deep snapper wasn't there, and I think they snapped it over his head twice. But, my big deal is the quality of the game. So hopefully, it'll be at a high level for all games considered.
Next question is from Justin Ferguson.
Hey, Gus, you said last Saturday that you wanted to get closer to the offensive line, a starting group there. What has progress been on that, and are y'all still sorting some of that out?
We're still sorting some of it out. We've had some guys that were out this week, and so we're still sorting that out. But, hopefully this next week we'll get in a routine. One thing I will tell you is that this offensive line will have a chance to grow each week, but we're just trying to get the right 5 guys, get them beside each other, get them used to the communication, get them used to playing beside each other and the steps and everything that goes with that. So, we're hopefully this week we'll have all that shored up.
So you're still trying to figure out that first 5, but do you like the depth up front, especially like we've been talking about, having to need so many guys this year?
Yeah, so I think we are getting closer to that first 5. Depth chart will come out next Tuesday, so we'll get that to y'all. But at the same time, like you just said, you have to have the mindset like you don't just have 5 starters. You got to have 8, 9 guys, the way I look at it, possibly even 10, that have that ability to not only play but really play multiple positions. Now, the good thing is we've done a whole lot of that up to this point because of the situations we've been in. We've got some tackles that have played guard and tackle. We've had one player that played center, guard, and tackle. So there's been more of that, and to a certain point that was by design, but a lot of it had to do with just, the people we had out. And so, hopefully we can get some consistency and keep more players out on the practice field.
Thank you.
Next question is from Gianna Hahn.
Hi, Coach. A little change in subject away from football. I was wondering, how have you seen Alan Green grow since in his time as AD at Auburn, and just what have you seen out of him in these last few months with all the different challenges you guys have faced?
Well, I think anything you do, a new job, you get experience as you go, and Alan's done a super job directing our athletic department. What I like about Alan is he's around. He knows our players personally. He comes to practice. They know him, and he's always around. And, as far as the last couple of months, I know just, it's been really impressive for me to see him with his leadership, and I know our relationship's grown through all this too. And but I think he's doing an outstanding job during all this. And what I like I said, the big thing for me is, he's around, and he's around our players, and they know him.
Next question is a follow-up from Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Gus, how's Grant Lloyd progressing?
Grant, you can tell he's a veteran guy. You can tell he's played. He's getting used to Coach Morris's offense and the expectations, but he's worked really hard. I think his teammates really like him. They respect him. He's a hard worker. He's a good athlete, too, and he's got a real live arm. So he's just in the process of learning the offense, and, he's got a lot of scrimmage reps. And like I said, 3 weeks in a row, we let all of our quarterbacks go live other than Bo Nix. And so we got a chance to learn a lot about all those other guys, and he's one of them. And I will tell you this, we're glad he's here with us.
Is he fitting in nicely with his new team?
Yeah, that's one of his big assets. He's got to know his teammates. They have respect for him. You can tell they like him.
Thanks.
Our next question is from Tom Green.
Hey, Gus. Last week, Kevin said there was kind of a 5-man battle for that number 2 cornerback spot. How is that kind of shaken out this last week heading into game week?
Yeah, I think it's still at that point. But the great thing is, competition brings out the best in everybody. And so there's a lot of healthy competition. And, I think you can tell the way our league with what LSU did last year and spreading everything out, I expect the league to have more than that than normal. And then I think you're going to have more DBs that are ready to play. And so that's kind of been our message. But it's been really good competition, and I think it's helped us develop guys.
Next question is from Philip Marshall.
Gus, could you talk about Anthony Schwartz and what that kind of speed brings to you, and just what you've seen out of him in preseason?
He's had a very good, fall camp. He's healthy. Okay, so I think that's really where it starts. And Chad's done a super job with moving him around and helping him be more complete receiver. And so I think you'll see that. But you can just tell his confidence level is very high right now. The thing about him, he's extremely smart. He's very coachable. You can do a lot of different things with him, and so we're looking for big things out of Anthony this year.
When you were recruiting him, I guess his speed the first thing that got your attention?
Yes, yeah. There's no doubt. His speed jumps off the film, and you got a chance. He's the fastest guy in the country. And the thing about Anthony is, there's a lot of guys that can run without pads. Anthony, I feel like, is just as fast in pads, and that gives him a big advantage. And he's really worked hard on the little things developing as a receiver, and really made a big-time commitment. And so I think he's in a really good spot this year.